lollipop, lollipop, lollipop.
Hi, everybody. Mark Trowbridge here with our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to our weekly Facebook Live show. I'm here with the inimitable Grant Miller from Miami's Community Newspapers.
From where?
Oh my God, I forgot where you worked.
Me too. I forget all the time.
And why were we playing that song today?
It's National Lollipop Day. And you know what this weekend is? National Hot Dog Weekend. Do you know what Saturday is? National Vanilla Ice Cream. And last week was National Ice Cream Week.
Yeah. So wait a minute. In a span of 4 days, we've got lollipops, vanilla ice cream, and hot dogs.
That's correct.
Any kind of hot dog, just a good old-fashioned wiener.
And I challenge everybody. You're welcome to come to Arbetter's on Saturday. I am having 27 hot dogs in one day. You're welcome to join me.
27?
Yeah.
Are you going to try all the varieties, or are you going to stick with your pretty much chili dog?
So, Brett, I challenge anybody who would like to join me. Last year was 24 dogs one day, but this time it's 27.
So how long does it take you to eat 27 hot dogs?
The question is not how long it takes to eat. How long am I in the bathroom?
Okay. I mean, a chili dog is going to set you back a pace.
Okay. So you figure 3 to 4 an hour.
Oh, okay. So you're going to spend all day there. First of all, check it out. Second of all, we love you, Dave. Third of all, if you want the best hot dog in town, we'll go see Dave at Arbiters. And don't forget to get a side of Tro Tots. Don't go heavy on that. Otherwise, it will limit your hot dog intake. Have you ever thought about doing an eating contest, or you're not about speed?
No eating contest. But by the way, Azuka Ice Cream, locally owned.
Sure. Susie Battle.
I told her today that you like peach ice cream.
I love anything peach.
Hey, Susie, I know you're watching because we talked about it. She's going to make some special peach ice cream for you because she has to wait for season for them to come
I know, but I am obsessed with peaches in the summer. Here are my big three. So peach iced tea or any type of peach-infused drink. Second of all, just straight up good old peaches. I'm part of the Peach of the Month Club. I want to thank my friends Cheryl and George for splitting those boxes with me each week. And Cheryl this week made not only a peach cobbler, but in honor of National Ice Cream Day, she made a peach ice cream that went on top of it. Cheryl and George for splitting those boxes with me.
Sorry about that.
Wow. I was hearing myself like in the past, but yet in the future. Why don't you leave things to the young whippersnapper here, Howard?
Yes.
Who knows how things work.
Okay, so what do we got? We'll speak about national issues.
Yeah.
Our Cuban friends, our Haitian friends, our Surfside families.
We've got a lot going on in our community. I mean, one of the great things about living and working and being a part of the Miami community is we're in such a diverse community. And so all of us have friends who at any given time are feeling some of the anxieties of maybe where their families are and their native homelands. And certainly that has been the case with our Cuban brothers and sisters. It's been a very challenging couple of weeks, but, much love to the Cuban people who have been doing everything in their power to say enough is enough. And I've been seeing things on social media about, Patria y Vida, SOS Cuba, people collecting, internet data cards and sending them down to Cuba so that folks can stay in communication. Because, unlike here, there are places in this world where the government can say, you know what, no more internet, and flick the switch. I saw that earlier over the weekend that the former First Lady of Haiti returned after the good doctors took care of her at Jackson, and she was greeted in Port-au-Prince by the new president. And here is a sobering
how's the new president?
Image. Well, they're aligned because he was, the prime minister. Okay, but the downside is when you see that image of her getting off the plane and she's wearing a black dress to mourn her husband, who will be laid to rest by the people of Haiti and his family this Friday. But she's wearing a bulletproof vest. I mean, she had to get off the plane in her homeland in a bulletproof vest. And so that just tells you there's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of anxiety. I was telling somebody this weekend that it feels a little bit like this long, hot summer is a bit of a powder keg. People are frustrated. They're concerned again about the rise of the Delta variant, and are kids going to have to go back to school wearing masks? And are we going to have to close down some of the progress that we have made? And I don't know the answers to that, but that anxiety mixed with what's happening in such important community partner places like Haiti, like Cuba, and the tremendous loss of life that happened in Surfside. I mean, we've identified about 95 or 96 people so far. And, much love to our county mayor, because she's been there every single day while working on these substantive issues affecting other members of our community, especially those who have been great supporters of her.
Yeah, Danielle Cava has risen to the occasion.
She has risen to the occasion, and that is when you elect somebody to be a county mayor. You need to remember two things. It's not a day job. It's a full-time job. It is a calling of public service, because our mayor is a strong county mayor, meaning they run the government. So when she has to make a personnel issue, that's her call. When she has to reach out to the federal government or the state government for support, that's her call. When she needs to comfort the people in our community because they are suffering, that's her job. So I give her a lot of credit, because I can't imagine since that fateful Thursday morning, she's had a lot of rest. And then, we had another incident at a apartment building where the facade fell off. Thankfully, no one was injured or died in that. But you now have to start saying to yourself, what's going on?
By the way, off script, I was in the Coconut Grove Playhouse yesterday.
Wow. Has anybody been in there in quite some time?
First of all, there's no power.
Okay, so it's warm.
Warm and
moldy. Yeah.
Holes that you could see what's the middle bars in the cement?
The rebar.
The rebars, you could see them. That means it's falling down.
Wow. It sat for so long, and you just can't do that in the humidity and heat of South Florida.
And
I used to love going to that place.
The ground, there's holes in the ground everywhere. So
that mold is a killer.
If you get bored, you go to Community Papers Instagram, go to our Facebook.
Check it out.
Did
you take Aaron? Did you make Aaron go in there?
Aaron went in there, and I was with the county commissioner, Regalado.
Aaron is very delicate.
Yes, but he did a good job.
He's not like Howard, who's tough around the edges, but a soft heart in the middle.
All right,
let's talk. I don't want you to hurt these boys. They're the best thing you got going here.
Okay. Speaking about boys, it's boys' weekend. We're going to Savannah.
My nephew and I leave tomorrow.
Wait, why am I never included? You had lunch today at Graciala's.
You've been a boy for a while.
Wait, and Graciala's. You went
Gracianos.
Okay, you went there for lunch. No invite from me.
Meeting with a great trustee, Rob Paleo from Northwestern Mutual.
Oh, no wonder you didn't invite me.
We were checking in with each other, and really great to catch up. I love talking and meeting with our members. I do it every day, but
but in person, it's good.
It's been a long time, especially with Rob. Even though he's right upstairs in our building, he's worked remote for a part of that time.
All right, let's get back to Savannah. You're going with your nephew.
Yeah, we go away every summer for a long weekend, and just the two of us. We are flying direct flight from Miami to Savannah.
There's an airport in Savannah?
There is, yeah.
How many traffic lights are there in Savannah?
I feel like there's quite a few. I mean, I've driven in Savannah, and I've also been just a walk around kind of guy. So, I'm a planner. So, we've got about 13 things on the docket, which probably makes him a little bit anxious because that's a lot. But we get in tomorrow evening, and then Thursday we're off and
wait.
running.
You're going to be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
No, I'm working tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be, we'll take a later flight, evening flight, and then we have stuff Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and half the day Sunday.
All right, cocktails at the Chamber tomorrow? No, Thursday.
They do that even when I'm not there, even when I am there.
Erica
makes margaritas in her office.
Who does?
Erica. She loves a margarita.
Oh, okay. So...
wasting away again in Margaritaville.
All right, so we're back to live events. I told you that last Friday I went to bare knuckle fighting at Hard Rock. Have you been to Hard Rock lately?
I have been there, but boy, I think it was, you're talking about up in like Seminole.
Yeah, I mean,
reservation.
You walk in there.
I was there for a Super Bowl event, but that was February of 2020.
You walk in there now. It is mobbed.
Really?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are doing side work up there. You have to walk past them to get to the fight. But the fight was pretty impressive.
Side work is like a gig?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
That's my plan. That's my 2022
Okay,
plan.
so let's do the recap of the Good Morning Breakfast that was. I went to each of your staff members and congratulated them. They did a great job.
That's very nice of you because I don't typically do that. So thank you for
But
doing
I'm the cheerleader.
You are.
And Erica and Morgan, the rest of the team. It was a little scary for them. They didn't know how it was going to be. You gave out pins to everybody, right?
We gave out our new pin. Matter of fact, I don't have my pin on my jacket because this morning at breakfast I gave the pin to one of our members at Riviera Country Club.
You were at Riviera Country Club today?
I had breakfast at 7:30 today with the dean of the business school at UM.
What's his name?
John Quelch.
John, thank you very much. My son graduated there.
John is great. I sent him an email literally last week and I said, hey, I've been thinking about you. Hoping we can catch up sometime before the start of school. He goes, how about Tuesday at 7:30? I'm like, I'm there.
So who gave it? University of Miami gave out backpacks, clear backpacks.
Yeah. University of Miami Health, UHealth.
They were the sponsor of the event.
Great sponsor. Had Gino DeMari, the head baseball coach, who was really lovely. Had a great pair of shoes on, didn't he? I think he was wearing Ferragamos.
Oh, come on. That's Gino. Of course he was.
I mean, typically you'd wear like a cleat, no?
Yeah, but he's playing. So who was the moderator?
His name was Dave Azar.
Where do I know Dave Azar?
I don't know, but when I read about him, he's quite the sports and enthusiast, sportscaster, voice of the Hurricanes. He did a great job.
Voice of Hurricanes, what? Not baseball.
Not on baseball, but maybe in.
Jay Rokich is the voice of.
And that other guy. Oh, you're thinking about the public address announcement.
Yeah.
I was thinking about media.
Oh, I don't know. But he did a great job.
With, Steve.
But you know what's interesting about the show? You had 3 parts of the show.
Yeah.
Of the event. You had the awards that I really didn't care about, but it was great that everybody who received them and all the people that didn't receive them stayed.
They did. No one left.
Okay, but before that, you had this young 13-year-old girl who stole the show.
She did. She not only
Gino DeMari, who?
She not only sang the Star Spangled Banner to begin, but she did an original composition that she won the Young Talent Big Dreams division, singing division on.
She was outstanding, and she played some instrument.
Yeah. So we had a second piece with her and her.
So you had
colleague.
You had these girls that were outstanding. When she sang national anthem, you cried. She was outstanding. Then you had the awards that really was beautiful. But I don't look at when I go into a restaurant, look at that stuff or business. Right. And then you had Gino DeMari. It's like it was great.
Gino was so candid, and it's just great when you have folks who are there and they're so authentic. So
Gino DeMari, we see each other occasionally, and I see him at Anna Capri a lot. And he says, "Well, next time I go, I'll call you." Oh. So he calls me at 9:30 at night. At 9:30 at night, he's going to work. I love him.
Doesn't he know you're probably on a date?
Yeah, but he has 4 girls.
Wow, and a wife.
Oh yeah,
right. So you're outnumbered 5-1.
Oh yeah.
And what are their ages?
One's 16 and down. I don't know.
And younger. Okay.
Yeah, they all look just like mom.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. All right. So the breakfast, and how do you feel how it was?
So I look at programs kind of through 2 or 3 lenses. I think the first is, do people come, engage, and stay? And I think this group did very well. The only thing that was a little bit unnerving is they were really quiet and listening to the program. We typically have to quiet people down, especially if there's a segment that they're not as into. But I think people are, so happy to be together that they're focused. The second thing I look at is, how does the program move? Are we seamless in our transitions? It's a timed agenda, which I don't know if people realize that it's a timed agenda plus a script, and then I'm sitting there tweaking it as we go along. And about the only thing we didn't do that we traditionally do is networking at the table, because at the end of the day, the tables were much smaller. 6 or 7 people.
It went so fast.
Yeah, and I don't think they ran till we still ran about till 9:10. We told folks that we would go over a little bit.
Yeah, but
they stayed. So.
And people it's interesting. They're like cattle. They won't go into the room. Everybody stayed outside in the heat until somebody said, "Go inside."
And then they all came in at once and sat down, and we were able to start at 8:02. That doesn't typically happen in a July breakfast for the simple reason that people are more chilled out.
But it was outstanding. Again,
more chilled out.
That girl come back and sing?
I hope so. She's got a very bright future, and she's got some alliances and ties to Actors Playhouse, which is pretty cool too.
It was a great show. I enjoyed myself. I had a wonderful seat in the back. Do you believe me?
I don't believe you.
Okay, good. All right.
I offered you a seat at my table. I offered you a seat on my lap, and I offered you just a chair, and you declined them all.
All of them.
Because you are so social. You're like a butterfly.
Gina DeMar says, sit with me. I go, no.
You're flitting around the back of the room, and you're just like chaos.
Okay, so July calendar.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. We got 10 days left. So, tomorrow we have an impact seminar. And I really want to encourage you who are listening that if you have a workforce that are hourly employees and you're not familiar with what's going on in the new minimum wage, that takes effect September 30th. We're doing a whole program tomorrow on the new minimum wage, 10 a.m. Please join us. If you put your information in the chat, Morgan will comp you as our guest. And I'll have her put some information about the program. But it's tomorrow morning, led by Porpoise Evans. We've got a partnership with the Florida Retail and Lodging Association, the Business Improvement District, you name it. We're going to fill the room with good folks who need to hear about how on September 30th, the minimum wage goes from $8.56 to $10. And then every year thereafter for 5 years, $1 more a year.
So I saw on, I don't know, the web or something, there was a replacement for Greater Miami Convention Bureau. Is that public?
It is public. It went public yesterday around 9:30. David Whitaker.
And when was it decided?
Well, I think it was kind of a multi-step process. So the committee that I served on made a recommendation. I think that recommendation had to be discussed with the executive committee and the board, and then it went to probably the senior leadership and the headhunter negotiating.
And are you allowed to say who it is?
We can. It's David Whitaker of Choose Chicago.
What Chicago?
Choose Chicago. That's their convention bureau. David was at our bureau for about 17 years before he left for Toronto, and then he worked for Brand USA, and then he was at Chicago the last 5.5 years.
Well, it's exciting. He's coming back. Is he from Miami?
I don't think he's from Miami, but he was hired in Miami out of the United Way to work at the earliest days at the bureau.
Well, it's going to be interesting because our convention centers are empty, and I think that's one of his goals is to fill it up.
So I think, and I can only follow kind of the interview process, and I don't think we're talking out of school, but, my colleagues, of which there were about a dozen, they wanted to talk about other markets. They wanted to talk about sales strategies. They wanted to talk about technology, and they certainly wanted to talk about our new convention center and the plans for a future convention center hotel.
The new convention's the one on Miami Beach.
That is correct. So it's the new old one, but it's been redone. It just hasn't had a full. I've been in parts of it.
Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful. I want to say thank you and a shout out to folks like Stephen Haas who work with the
that's the man.
Management company.
He's the head chef. What does he do?
He oversees all food, beverage, and bookings and conferences, and then he works under Freddie, who's the day-to-day GM.
So I met him years ago through Bob Levy.
Sure.
He passed away.
Steve was amazing.
So
he chaired the bureau for a number of years.
But he had that restaurant called City Hall.
He had City Hall, which I loved for two reasons.
Sunday?
He was always there, and Sunday they had gospel brunch. Maybe 3 reasons. That when you would order a drink, I could order extra blue cheese stuffed olives. That's my jam, bro.
Okay, so the girl that sang,
Mariel Epps.
What is she doing now?
She's still around. I saw her sing at George Neary's birthday party back in March. And when she would close her set at City Hall over brunch, she would come around and do a little sing-along.
Right.
And her song was This Little Light of Mine.
Right.
So if you were lucky, she'd bring the mic over to you and she'd go, all right, brother. And you'd go, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And then she'd pull the mic away if you were too good.
Okay. Well, she was a little jealous. All right. So congratulations to Whitaker, right?
David, we're proud of you. I know he's headed back to Chicago. He and I exchanged texts last night after the big day and announcements, and then he's making the big move here in August. So we're looking forward to that. And you know what? A big shout out to the entire committee. We worked for months. We worked for months on governance issues and the bylaws, and then transitioned into the selection committee. And we were guided very ably by Chairman Bruce Oros and by our general counsel, Jarrett Davis. But what an honor to serve. And I can just say, representing our Coral Gables Chamber of Commerce. I was the only chamber executive invited to be part of
Aren't
that
you
group.
the only one in
And
Miami?
I was really appreciative. No, there's lots of us.
Oh, okay. So
lots of good folk.
So let's finish the July calendar. We didn't finish that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that brings us sort of to the end, though.
No, we have an event next week and the week after, don't we? Don't we have something on the 20th? Don't we have something on the 21st? Impact.
Well, the 20th is today. That already happened.
Today's the 20th already?
Yes.
What's tomorrow?
I already mentioned the impact about the minimum wage, and Morgan's put some information.
Morgan, you're the best. I want to tell you something. Morgan, you're the best.
And next week is kind of a quiet week because, we start transitioning into August and the annual conference. So next week we'll have a board meeting. We're going over
in person?
The budget. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid for our board. Our executive committee meets tonight, hybrid. But I'm beginning to review the budget with them. I'm beginning to talk a little bit about next year. I mean, we've got some significant challenges in front of us.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Who sells the most trustees other than your staff? Do you have somebody? Do you keep record of that?
Keep record of everything because board members have a financial commitment. Brian's done very well. The chair always does very well during their.
Yeah, he's an attorney. He's powerful.
But for the most part, it's staff driven.
That's not good.
It's kind of the sign of the times. My hope is that as we get into Anna's year, that will transition back to a time of shared opportunity. We need the contacts of our members. We need to know who their vendors are. Brian's worked all year long to remind people to buy chamber, to support vendors of yours. And if they're not, then get them to join.
So Brian was really not a year. It was a year and a quarter?
He served for 1 year and 4 months.
Wow. That's a long time. A lot of dedication. So hats off to you, Brian.
Hats off to Brian. And he and Patrick shared a little bit of the time because Patrick came back on January 1 and did an extra 4 to 5 months as well.
So why we have you on here? Give me it's refocus, re-engage, realigned,
reunite.
What else?
Reimagine. All of the RE words you can think of are really what our conference is about. So the theme is reunited and it feels so good, very appropriate for a coming together. Our conference is August 19th and 20th, brought to you by Doctors Hospital. Thank you, Javier. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you to the whole team, but especially to Elsa, who's on our planning committee and on our board of directors. I think people right now need to reunite. They need a little bit of a refresh. I was at church on Sunday.
What church?
I was at All Souls Episcopal Church, and the priest gave a whole homily on why are we so tired. And, I was sitting in the right spot to hear that because I'm tired too. I don't think we re-energize and rejuvenate the way we used to because we're just on a constant diet of work, social media, messaging. And, the way I recharge is, I leave town, I leave the country, and I go away for 10 days. I am truly unhooked when I am on foreign soil. The most I've been able to do is go to New York for 4 or 5 days, head to Savannah this weekend, drive around the state. I haven't had the opportunity to really rejuvenate. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll probably be late 21, early 22. I've got a lot of vacation time to use, but I want to help our board through this transition. Of course, from Brian to Anna. Anna's working really hard on her conference. We're still looking for about $12,000 more in sponsorship. So she's done a good job. We're looking for about 12 more. And we want to get people registered. Remember to register. The early bird pricing ends next Friday, the 30th. So we want to have you join us, and we want to have you be part of a really special day.
I got to get back to the event. Your staff, that first breakfast back, they were, when I say they were nervous, because it was nervous, but your staff that day were total pros. So you should be really happy.
Well, I appreciate that, and I certainly am thrilled to hear that. I mean, I was nervous on 2 fronts. I think one is, we hadn't put that many people in a ballroom with our chamber brand on the door in more than a year and a half, And secondly, and most importantly, I went to a gathering like that and I got sick. So I understand how that can happen. And listen, Florida isn't reporting daily numbers anymore, but last week we had 45,000 new cases, which breaks down into over 6,000 cases a day. The positivity rate in Miami-Dade County, 7.4%.
Michael, can you share on your phone like I asked you to? Thank you. Yes.
The way he speaks to you. And Michael, stop moving in on Howard.
Okay. All right. Spa month. Are we going to go to a spa together? You and me next week?
So I'm working on a thing. We could do a couples things. So I usually do 3 spas during the month. So I'm doing a Biltmore. Thank you, Matthias and team. That'll be part of the annual conference.
What's his first name?
Matthias.
What's his last name?
Kammerer.
Matthias. Call me. Do you mind?
Call me. Da 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 da. So I'm doing a spa day there. I'm doing one at the Edition.
Hey, Howard, can we do a video of him at a spa?
Howard, I'm having a full body scrub and detox. And then I'm going to plan something with Sarah up at Bal Harbor where we'll go to the St. Regis or the Ritz up there, do spa day, and then go over and have lunch at or a late lunch at Bal Harbor Shops. So, I'm doing it with my ladies. So,
Is it hard to hear me? Is the volume okay?
Oh, it's probably because I was singing really loud.
Okay. So
is that Morgan writing to us? She's
yes.
been quite prolific.
All right. So social media engagement, your thing is rocking. You keep
We did. We launched a program with Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden yesterday. So subscribe to both of our pages and you have a chance to win some tickets to Jurassic Garden, which has been ongoing since June. Thank you, Sheree, for your partnership always. And, my hope is that we're going to do a trustee event in the garden this year. Fingers crossed, working on that with Sheree. We did that when Leslie Bowe was with us. God bless him. Rest his soul. But our members loved it. They bought memberships and they got really engaged with the garden. And what an incredible asset in our city, beautiful Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden.
Summer reading list. Anything good?
No, we got a lot of good stuff. Next Friday, 2 Fridays from now, August 6th, we have Dr. Isaac Proletinsky talking about his new book, Mattering, Prilleltensky. And he's going to be talking about his new book on mattering and belonging. Incredibly important conversations, especially people who have been somewhat socially remote and disconnected for the last year and a half. It's time to get back and acquainted. And, folks, take care of one another. Check in on one another.
I put you to bed sometimes. I check.
Sometimes you do. When you call me late at night, I'm so happy. I'm like, Grant Miller here. Usually Grant and I are at 10:30, like we're in the car returning from a late night engagement.
Okay, memberships.
You're awake at 10:30 at night?
Hell yeah.
June, you had a great membership month. 26.
We did. We had 26. May, we had 28. April, we had over 20. Right now, Jen told me this morning that we're at 17.
That's not good.
Well, we've got 10 days left. No,
so
1, 2, 3. We got 8 days left.
It'd really be nice. It really
10 calendar days, but 8 working days.
Okay, it'd be really nice if each board member. How many board members you have?
We have 35.
Each board member, please. So 1 membership.
So the goal in July is twofold. One is up our retention. And what I did was a note went out today to every member that's past due that said, hey, if you don't renew by the 30th, you won't be in our new directory. So please renew. Jen and I are working on recruiting 11 new trustees. We are currently at 3 with 2 commitments. We're just waiting on checks. That gets us to 5. And then we've got another 8 that are in some case just waiting for a check or a credit card, and some are like running it up the flagpole, and some are like, we'll get right back to you. And I want to say a special thank you to you and your friend Wayne Bracken because they upgraded last week at the end of the week.
Holy
Wayne, thank you so much.
Wait. Wayne Bracken.
Don't listen to these Miller boys. I told them all along you were going to come through.
We're going to do that again. Go ahead. Are we live?
We're live and you're recording. We're thrilled to announce that Kids Medical.
Okay, now.
Thrilled to announce that Kids Medical, led by CEO Wayne Bracken, are our newest trustees for the month of July.
Yay!
And most importantly, we've got, like I said, we've got 3 in the hopper, 2 in the front burner, and 8 more that we're working on. But we want to have a big month. July needs to be our best month of COVID.
And University Credit Union just joined?
They did, so thank you to that. By the way, I should re-answer your question about our best trustee recruiter. It's you, Grant Miller.
Really?
Well, those are 2 this month that you opened the door and said, you need to rejoin the chamber, or you need to upgrade your membership. You told Al Rose that.
Say it again. Right here.
Right here. I feel like we're doing live and a live and a live.
Right here. Send a message to Michael Wells and Albert Rose.
Well, first of all, gentlemen, thank you, first and foremost. And I saw Al last week at the breakfast that you hosted at Casa Cuba. And I said, Al, I know you've been on vacation, but we're trying to close our directory and our book for 2021.
Say that again, Grant.
I'll give you these socks.
Well, Al has great taste.
Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
All right.
And so Grant Miller right now is our top salesperson for the chamber for July.
Pretty pitiful.
No, you've got a lot of relationships. Matter of fact, I reached out to Amy today and I said, hey, you've got a client. We'd love for them to join the chamber. Our goal, 11 trustees. That's the goal.
Amy.
And whatever we have over and above that is gravy. The directory closes, ladies and gentlemen, on July 30th. So if you're thinking of joining, don't wait till August. Join now, because then you'll be in the directory. If you haven't renewed and you're past due, rejoin, or you won't be in the directory. And we want everybody in the directory.
So Amy, who sells a lot of memberships for you, Amy, she's
a top producer.
Amy Livergood, can you get on the stick and sell like 4 more, because they got to be in the directory? Speak about the directory.
Amy Livergood Donner.
Speak about you have your magazine coming out.
We do. It'll be out August 20th. So we're in the final throes of ad sales, getting people to rejoin so they'll be in the directory, and working on content.
If you want to get in the magazine, call Morgan at
305-446-1657, or email her at mmongelia, MMONGELIA at coralgableschamber.org.
Or Morgan, you can put that on the thing.
We've got a few more pages left to sell, and we are crossing our fingers that we're going to have. Last year was a banner year.
We're
beautiful. On pace this year to exceed that. Our goal is $150,000 in gross revenues in terms of sales. Last year was 132.
Last year's magazine was beautiful. Have you decided on the cover yet?
We are close.
So when you decide, can you bring the cover so we can post it?
We will do that. We'll do a reveal.
Yeah, I think it's important to get the
We'll
cover
do a
out.
big reveal. We'll do a big taste like veal.
Yeah. Did you have veal today for lunch?
No, today for lunch I had chicken.
So
and a salad.
Mark and I and one of your trustees had lunch last week.
We did.
So you went.
Well, we had a late breakfast.
Yeah. So I went and had waffles, and then I went and got chocolate strawberries.
Right. So this is what happens. He says, I say to the group, what would you like? Most of the group's going to eat empanadas because that's Graziano's jam. So I get 3 or 4 different empanadas. I get myself a yogurt, and Grant wants a waffle. So whatever, they bring the food. It's amazing. Then he gets up and gets 4 chocolate-covered strawberries, 5, and he brings them over and he goes, would you like one? I'm talking to Rallo and to Justin. And when I look up, they're all gone.
You got one?
No, bro. No, bro. I'll be the first to admit when I'm being a fatty. You left me hanging.
Well, it's funny.
I could have eaten a couple of stems and maybe the plastic that it came in.
I was starving too. And, when I go to a new restaurant. Okay, so a lot of great things.
Why are you hungry at that time? I know you've worked out and everything.
I walk.
Don't you have a protein shake after your workout?
No. Oh. Okay, so Coral Gables really is rocking and rolling right now.
Agreed.
There's so many great things going on. New commission, city's moving forward. You got your magazine, City. What's it called?
City Beautiful magazine.
City Beautiful, that everybody needs to be part of. You have a great team that you work with.
I agree.
And call Morgan.
Morgan put her information, so email her or call her. We've got a few ads left. She's done a great job selling. And we've got a couple waiting and a couple pending. And if we get all of those, we're going to be golden. And we're super proud of that, because not only is it sent to every household in Coral Gables, it's at our visitor center, welcome center. It's at our hotels. It's sent to all of our relocation prospects. The real estate community uses it. It is an award-winning, gorgeous piece, and we're lucky to work with Amy and Rich and JP and the team. They really care about the magazine, and it's our directory too, and it's also a guide to doing business in Coral Gables. So it's 3 partners: Coral Gables Chamber.
When you say it's in the hotels, it's in the lobbies, correct?
It's in the lobbies.
And then
some might put it in their rooms. I'd have to double check that. I know Biltmore has it like at the concierge desk.
I happen to love it in the rooms.
I think it's great. When I go to a hotel, I oftentimes will take that literature with me for 2 reasons. One, I'm a little bit of a hoarder, And two, I love to gather and gain ideas. When I was in New York, they have a beautiful hardcover in-room book, so I didn't take that.
That's what Gary Duell does.
But I really have to say, I enjoy seeing what they focus on. You know, our magazine is more evergreen than it used to be because we look at stories which are, you know, longer term. It isn't just of the moment. So
Morgan says some of the properties keep in the room. Now, let's go over some of the hotels. Not everybody realizes, because it's not like Miami Beach, all the hotels are set up together. You have some top hotels.
Oh, sure. I mean, the Biltmore, of course, leads the way in terms of its iconic historic nature. Gorgeous property at the Hyatt. We work with Mario Terán and his team there. The beautiful Colonnade Hotel, which is historic in nature. It's where George Merrick's original sales center was. And then you have some wonderful hotels. George Merrick's original sales center.
Is there a sign in that hotel?
I think there probably is something.
I love that stuff.
In that rotunda area. Great partners at the Aloft. That's a Marriott property. And Courtyard by Marriott. Thesis is a great property and a trustee of ours. And then we've got some hotels around the community, like Dayland Marriott, like our friends at
Dayland Marriott was at the breakfast last week.
Yeah, our friends. And they may have let their membership lapse, but Jen's going to get them back. They're part of the MDM Hospitality Group. Yes. We've had off and on membership with the Mayfair, the Sonesta. I mean, we love all those properties.
The Loft. You don't even know it's there.
Oh, the Loft is wonderful. First of all, that concept is
there a restaurant
amazing.
there?
There is. There is a restaurant.
How big? There. How many rooms in that hotel?
You know, I don't know that question.
No, but it's like you don't even realize it. You drive
great property.
That's making a point that people drive through.
And I love Marriott, and I'm a Marriott loyal Bonvoy member. So when Taylor and I go to Savannah, we're staying at the Aloft.
I love Marriott. I'm going to Atlanta August 6th and 7th.
You didn't invite me?
No, I'm going to a weightlifting contest. No, I'm not competing. My son is.
I understand that. Why did you assume I didn't know? Because I looked at you.
You eyed me. Going,
I gave you some shady eyes.
You gave me that eye going, you're a fat guy. You ain't doing anything.
You're not fat. You're just small boned.
So, just what you know, I was at Azuka Ice Cream today.
Yeah.
Celebrating National Ice Cream Day and National Vanilla.
But is it really vanilla? That's this weekend?
This weekend.
So you just want to eat plain old vanilla?
I told Susie.
You're anything but vanilla.
Susie Battle that when peaches come in, that she's going to have special peaches.
So, true story. Years ago, I was doing research on ice cream, and I found out that you can go to Penn State,
go to school there,
and study dairy science. And they have a on-campus creamery where not only traditional age students but ice cream makers from around the world come to learn the art of ice cream making.
So,
and it's called the Creamery. But do you know what the most popular flavor was there?
What?
Some years ago now, peach. And do you want to know why?
Why?
Because Coach Paterno loved peach ice cream. And guess what it was called?
What?
Peachy Paterno ice cream.
Wow.
Probably not there anymore because of some of the challenges with Joe Paterno and Penn State, and
So Susie,
but I love peach. But I think she could find some peaches in Georgia.
She.
You know that song, right?
No, sing it.
I get my peaches out of Georgia.
No, I thought you peaches.
I get my weed from California.
So Susie Battle went to that.
Sings that?
No.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Susie Battle went to that college.
She went and studied there.
Yes,
I believe it. And you know what? She may have been the one that told me that story, because she spoke at our women's lunch a few years ago. She's delightful.
Yeah, she is
delightful. But I want her to lift every single carpet and find me a peach. What if I brought her a couple peaches?
I think that.
By the way, I only know about that song from Justin Bieber because I'm addicted to TikTok.
No, I didn't know that.
Do you watch TikTok?
Yeah. No. Do you?
I watch it every day. I watch it sometimes for as much as an hour.
Wow.
I don't post, but it's sort of a voyeuristic approach to 3 things I love on TikTok.
Susie, we're on live Facebook. I got Mark right next to me.
Hi, Susie. I love you.
Hi, Mark. I miss you.
All right. He wants to know if he brings you peaches, will you make him ice cream or will you make him peaches ice cream? Because that's all he's been talking about on the show. Is about you.
Of course I will. Of course I will.
Okay. So when you have it ready, call me and Mark and I will come over and
we'll film a video.
You got it.
All right.
Thanks, Susie.
See you later.
You got it. I'll fix it up. All right,
bye.
This show, by the way, As much as we script it, we go off the rails immediately. And our producer, Howard, what is he doing over there? Laughing, which means we're funny. And if you're watching, maybe you find us funny. Can we tell how many people are watching?
No, that's all different. Go in out. Doesn't matter right now. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. It's been a long day.
You know who I'm missing?
Who?
George Gonzalez.
I know.
He's been away for a couple days.
Yeah, well, this guy.
I hope he's well and want to know I'm thinking
Gonzalez
out of him. He's missed the last 2 shows.
He travels a lot or something.
I know. Well, we love him. He's our most dedicated. He's better than Morgan. Morgan either takes a nap or she forgets or she goes, nobody told me it was on Friday.
Okay,
so you think she's watching at her desk?
Yes, she's working. Morgan.
No, when I left, she was there, but we had, she was mad at me because I wanted her to fix something, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she starts doing this thing that's new for her. She looks around my desk like it's going to somehow magically be there. And by the way, Morgan, do you know that Marco did that today? We have my little godson there volunteering.
How old is your godson?
He's 15, going on 16, and we're trying to toughen him up this summer. So he rolls in at 9:15. The hair is
okay. You want to toughen him up? Oof. You want to toughen him up?
Drop him in the Everglades and make him run back.
Drop him off at Grant Miller and make him deliver newspapers. That'll toughen him up.
We'll be there. What time?
You don't want to do it. You know what Michael does?
Listen, I tell my best buddy, Marco, his dad, all the time. I go, I love this kid. I'm just over the moon that, I get to have him in my life because my other 17 nieces and nephews live elsewhere.
Where do they live?
They live everywhere from Melbourne to Toledo to Rochester to Lower Michigan to Findlay. They live all over. And now my one nephew just went in the Army. So he's down in Georgia. I get my peaches down in Georgia.
All right, we're going to wrap it up.
So let's shout it out to Dylan. Dylan went into the Army about 10 days ago. He was inducted. He was a little over the weight limit. So hopefully they're working on that out there in that Georgia humidity in the swamp. But he's the best.
Okay, speak about family. Mother Tro?
Well, my mother is convinced that we've blocked her from the show. So hopefully she's watching today. She hasn't mentioned it the last couple times I talked to her. I talked to her last night, but her phone was acting weird. So we didn't really get to wrap it up. But,
we miss your mom.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the Ritz Coconut Grove. And, of course, our great friend, Veronica Mahano.
Well, and you
They're
have another hotel coming soon.
Yes, we do.
What is it?
It is the Lowe's. Coral Gables.
How many seats?
How many rooms are there? I think there's 400 keys.
Wow.
They've had their topping off. I wrote Sarah Murov last week just to say, it looks like you guys have topped off over there. They're probably about 16 months away from opening. They'll open sometime probably late fall 2022.
The question I have, will that take away from the other hotels?
No.
That's going to be, because that's high price, right?
The Lowe's is a very, very elegant brand, but I'll tell you 2 things that I'm excited about. One, they have their own loyalty and following.
Right.
So the clients who might go to Lowe's Miami Beach will be different than come to Lowe's Coral Gables. More corporate. They also have some significant ballroom space, which even our friends at the Biltmore can't accommodate. So we'll be able to have 500-person lunches and dinners, which is great because we'll bring some events from downtown and Miami Beach to Coral Gables for the first time.
Well,
and we're going to help you, Lowe's, make that happen. Can't wait till you join and be part of our chamber family.
That's exciting because people go to these events like at the Marquis Marriott downtown.
Yes.
Beautiful
they have the big ballroom, but very difficult to get to.
Oh my God, get in there, parking.
And listen, most people when they're done at work are going south to go home. They're going to Gables, Pinecrest, Cutler Bay, Palmetto Bay.
Well, now the new people go to Redland. That's where new people go.
I don't even know where the Redlands are. I guess they're near Homestead.
No, Mark. One day I will have the Redlands.
Can I get peaches in the Redlands?
Yeah, in Publix.
Blueberries,
Publix.
Strawberries.
Winn-Dixie. Roberts is here.
I love Robert is here. Do you know that when I go there? So during the pandemic, I went every Saturday. Many times I was by myself. They were giving away sunflowers, which is my favorite flower, because the fields were, ablaze with sunflowers because they didn't know it was a pandemic. They were growing. And so you had to, at first you would just go to the parking lot and all that was open was the sunflowers. And you made a donation to the food bank and they'd give you 20 sunflowers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Then they started a drive-through. Then I would go to that every other weekend. And then they reopened, and then I would go to that. Not as much regularly. And I would see Carrie quite often when she was down there.
Who?
Carrie Black.
Oh, yes.
She'd come over and meet me, and then I'd go to the Orchid Place.
Michael, did he call you when he was
I
in there?
love the great outdoors. Although I don't like the heat.
Did you stop off at the Millers anywhere? Pinecrest?
I mean, you guys, all your numbers and everything is unlisted.
No strawberries for you.
Everything about you is unlisted.
Well, you know what's crazy?
You're still upset about that day we had lunch at Deli Lane. Do you remember this story?
Wait, you want to hear something crazy? So we go to Arbiters today, Tommy and I.
And you had 27 hot dogs.
Howard. And
what kind of wiener can Howard put away?
I have not
Does he do the Grant Miller like foot long?
No, he just have a regular chili. So
I see somebody. The chili, bro? You have the weakest immune system I've met of any employee here, other than Gloria.
Okay. 40. I haven't seen this guy over 40 years. He's in town.
And you ran into him
to see his grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him since I was 20s. Yeah.
Love it.
And there he was, a famous photographer.
Was it Ansel Adams?
Who? No. No.
Was it Annie Leibovitz?
No.
Oh. Matthew Brady?
No. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. You like to close this out? Can we have Lollipop again?
So 4 things in the chat I want to draw your attention to. Ready?
Ready.
Number 1, Impact Seminar tomorrow, Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Still an opportunity to, yes, it's on Zoom, to join us. Come as our guest. Just mention, I watched you on Facebook Live with Miami's community newspapers, and Morgan will sign you up and we'll waive the $10 fee. It's on the new minimum wage. Very important for our folks who have hourly employees, restaurant, and retailers. Secondly, most importantly, sign up for our annual conference, August 19th and 20th. Still time to do that on the early bird. Third, if you're a member now and you need to renew, do it by the 30th so that you're in our directory. And if you're thinking about joining our chamber, do it by the 30th to be in our directory. And if you don't want to join our chamber, then join a local chamber. Support your local business building and business development organizations. We like what we do. We hope that you do too. But if it's not us, then choose somebody. It's a long, hot summer, ladies and gentlemen. Love one another. Put the powder in your shoes. And most importantly, let's buy local and shop local. That's our show for today. Lollipop it is.
Yeah, baby. Close us out.
Well done.